Thank you, Professor Hakseno. It's a really great honor to be here. I've worked 2 years in Germany, so I can still some German, but I will spare that in the afternoon. I promised to my friends from Stuttgart University that in the morning I have to concentrate to speak English, and in the afternoon I will let the headsets out and hear all lessons, all presentation in English. My wife always said to me that you have brains like pipeline. You can concentrate only one thing at a time, not for the other. So that's the reason I have to concentrate the morning to the English language, not more. Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency, it's an agency which is under our Ministry of Transport and Communications. We are responsible for roads, railways, and fairways. So three of these roads. At the end of last year, we also were responsible for the traffic management, but at the beginning of this year, the traffic management will be separated from us, and it will be now state-owned company. So we are concentrated for the asset of these roads, railways, and fairways. That means planning, design, then deliver and maintain the projects. Some numbers of our organization. We are only 400 people altogether in the Finnish Infrastructure Agency. So when we are comparing our number of employees to Sweden, in Sweden they have 8,000, and of course they are double as big as we, but they have 20 times so many employees. So that's the reason also why we have to concentrate very carefully how we can procure our projects, how can we be more productivity all the time. I will tell you in my presentation a few words about how we went our journey to the 2019 for this point of view, why we are using IPD, why we are using lean construction, what the IPD culture really means and what is the change, some words about the results, and then very important thing which is connected with the culture is focus to people. How do you need to challenge? How do you educate all the people? And of course, you've already heard, it's very important by IPD that you need to cooperate with the research institutes. You have to make to work together with the universities. The short history of every year, what has been done. We started 2006. We saw all the problems you have heard already here in the first presentations. We were developing and searching that what they have done in Australia, and we tried to change our system so that we just we tried to make new guidelines and new contracts. We were developing 2 years, but that was not successful because we didn't understand that it's not from the paper, it's from the culture. So you have to change the culture, and what happens? We were established our GLCI Finland. That was a good result with this research, and we got an invitation from Karlsruhe Technical University from Professor Fritz Gebauer. He invited us to the Lean in Public Sector conference in Karlsruhe, and there we met the Australian guy, Jim Ross, who told us that it's not from the paper, it's from the culture. And when we came back from the Karlsruhe to Frankfurt by train, there was, we were around 10 people from Finnish organizations. From the owner's side, there was few people, then construction and consulting. We decided that we have to start the change. And luckily, we got very good support from our general director. He said that that's fine. you can start the change if you have courage to do that, and he will support us. So that was very important to take this first step, and then we start to challenge European procurement law. We were hiring most educated procurement lawyers, private lawyers who were searching, could it be somehow possible to make integrated project delivery project in Finland? Why we are doing that? That's the first question. These were the strategic targets we set there. I think you have heard all these words already, to improve productivity, change culture, improve customer satisfaction, develop innovativeness and knowledge. But we really do believe that there is huge potential. You all also have heard that there is a lot of waste in the whole construction industry, and the change is connected with the change that we need to concentrate to the procurement services and cooperate during the project. Then we can, as an owner, we can reduce the waste. My project manager has, when the new project starts, he has always make some considerating who are pricing risk, who are bearing risks, how I'm able to get different parties to collaborate together, how can I ensure that different parties optimize the whole instead optimizing their own, so making this sub-optimizing what very often happens in construction. And how do I create our project organization which deliver transparent information? That's a good question. That's a question about the openness. That's a great question about the changing the culture. How can I add value for money, and how can I eliminate the waste and focus more on the people? There is several international studies which are showing quite clearly that the common understanding will increase when all the parties are working together. We've already heard this theoretical foundation from the presentation from Professor Haxen. Also, there is so much evidence that even earlier you got the contractor in the project, you will get a better result, and everybody knows what is the right thing to do. We were chosen then to copy the alliance model from Australia, but as I said earlier, we recognize that this alliance from Australia, these contracts, they are not suitable for the European law. So we hired really the best lawyers in Finland to research how it will be possible. But the principle of alliance, they are, in a nutshell, they are such a thing that I could just say that everything of these, they are very acceptable. Joint contract, joint responsibility, joint organization, we share risks, we share pain and gain share also comes here. This openness, transparency, that's very important, and close cooperation, which means this culture, there is no blame culture. Always when we are constructing, always there happens some mistakes. But the culture is, will you put the people who are making the mistakes on a table or estrade and say you made a mistake, or do you take it as an lesson to learn for everybody else, So this continuous improvement is that when you are making some mistake, the whole organization get to know that, and the purpose will be that the same mistake will not done the second time. And how it was possible to use Alliance, then everybody in this room knows that these two possible selection criteria, what can be done according European directives, also with Finnish legislation, the lowest price or the most economically advantaged tender. And in Alliance project, there is this profit or corporate overheads we are using as a price element. And this was really important recognition. We noticed that if we can change as a price element the fee, then it's possible to make or use Alliance in according European law. And of course, there was some people who were against that, and there was one private person who made a claim first how to use Alliance in the construction. First, he claimed to every level of the court in Finland what was possible, and all of these were rejected. Then he made a claim to our parliament and said that it's not possible to use Alliance for the construction project. That was rejected. Then he claimed to the European Commission and said that Alliance is not possible, and that will be rejected in 2013. So we have no official permission to use Alliance in construction. No doubt about that. And that was very, very important to understand. Of course, when we are discussing from Alliance or IPD, we are discussing with lean thinking. That has to be so that often we as an owner, so I'm representing here really the point of view from owner's side. We owners say that industry they can done lean. That's fine. You can do that. You will be effective. You can be productivity. But is there something as we as an owner can do same time? Could we participate also with lean thinking and lean principles? Here are few tools that we have used in our Alliance projects. Also with the traditional projects we have done this. But the most important is that we as an owner, we understand that we are part of the project. We also had to know what is happening there, and we can also participate to use the lean tools. That's the reason why we have educated some of our project managers as in use lean methods. And when we are using lean in our project, I must say this leads really big cultural change. So this is the most important message I do have that I need to tell you, is that the change of the culture, it's not the thing of the industry. It's the thing which is for whole organization, and we as an owner, we have to be part of it. Sorry. We have taken, as I told you before, we have taken the first step in 2010. And we really need brave organization who will take the first step. I'm quite sure, and there is evidence even, that our first project, our first pilot project, they were not complete or ideal alliance project. They were projects where we did some mistakes, but not such kind of mistakes that I need to go to the jail. No, far away from that. But we have developed all the time our system. And the first project what we made in a transport agency, it was a railway renovation project. And we made a pilot project because we need to test the process. How this process will go on, and we really have changed a lot after that when we have tested that. So that's the reason why you need pilot project. You can do the improvement all the time. And also part of this is that we need to share our experiences. That's also reason why I'm here. We would like to be really open and tell everything our experiences, because in my opinion, if we have changed something in Finland, that's fine, that's okay for us. But there might be a lot of European countries who say that, okay, Finland, that's such a small market. They have such a concentrated market there. So they are just a crazy people. But if you change here in the heart of Europe something, everybody will listen and hear, hey, what's happening here? And I really hope that you start to change things here also from owner's side. Because we were asking at the beginning, who wants change, and everybody knows the problem with the construction. And they said, okay, that's good, we need to change. But the next question was, who wants to change? If it considered for yourself, no, I don't, I'm good enough, I don't need to change. But if you want to change for the whole industry, you have to change yourself. That's the change of the culture. These were the first pilot project we started 2011 and 12. So as I told, this railway renovation project was first one. Then the Tampere tunnel in the city of Tampere, and same time the University of Helsinki Center for the Premises and Facilities, they started the project, Alliance project. These were almost at the same time when we made the procurement of these, and we were all the time we were changing our experiences for this organization of which we start. And the situation now that over 3 billion euros project are now going on. The first one of these, that they are already on a phase of guarantee phase or phase that they will be completely taken by owners, not anymore responsible for the alliance organization. And a few words then about the results, and I will maybe concentrate for the most successful project of that was the Tampere Tunnel Alliance project, 2.3 kilometer under the city center of Tampere. That was also the project of which one private person has claimed again. And there was, as we say, this multi-partner contracting means often that you have one owner and many parties from the private sector. But this project, we had two owners. While City of Tampere, they were financed 2/3, so 120 million, and we as a transport infrastructure, we have financed this project with 60 million. So there were two owners and three private companies who created the alliance. And the impacts were that the original target cost was 280 million, but we noticed at the beginning of the project that there was so much polluted soil that we take this risk as an owner, because we thought that it's a risk what can be counted in the price, and that was reason that was 10 million euros how much it costed the polluted soil to clean it up, and that was with the unit price of which we have almost totally we have paid it. Part of it was in a alliance. But there was this target value process. Big room, I will tell you a few words about big room maintenance. Also the major innovations. It was delivered 6 months ahead, and it was really under the budget. And all the key result area we set, what is part of the process, they were exceeded in the project. The innovations, few words about the innovations. I've been asked many times that how about the immaterial rights? Who owns the ideas? Who owns the innovations? And I've always said that if you can prove that you have developed the innovation yourself, then it's your immaterial. But the system goes on in alliance or IPD, so that you got an idea, you put it open on the table, call the people that, hey, could you come to me and see, is this somehow deliverable? And then there are many people from several companies, and they say, okay, that's good, but change that, and they change that. So the innovations, all of these innovations in the tunnel project we got went so that there was many companies who were developing the innovations, and that's the reason there was no question about the immaterial rights anymore after that. And there was technical groups of which they were developing, but it's really clear evidence that about this innovation promotion. But it also means that you can't just say that I have just an idea. You have collect the ideas and systematically and follow how they are going on. Are they developing for innovation, or there were many ideas who just put on the side. They were not going further. This is also very important. I will not tell because I'm not involved with this project, but just to show that also the other are very unknown the advantage of the alliance project. And this terminal expanding investment, it's very important, and they noticed that alliance is only possible way to deliver this project, because same time there are maybe 20 million passengers a yearly they are going through the airport, and how you can build up expanding there at the same time there are such many passengers who are there. So you need to put up the ideas of the contractor, designer, and owner together and think what will be the suitable way to get through to deliver the project, so that the passengers don't disturb there. They can go as they used to go before. And then next theme is focus on people, challenge, and educate them. That's very important. We can't just say as an owner that, okay, now we take an alliance, so please, project manager, take an alliance and start to do that. Here is the some paper, here are some guidelines, please do that. We need to educate them, but same time we have to challenge them about the change. You need the change. By us, it happened so that we had a very great dialogue, not only for our owner side, also with the industry. 2010, after this Karlsruhe Congress, we invited the industry and we told that we are now planning to make the change. We want to do the change. What you are thinking? I can still remember that the first meeting, there was such a attitude that no, they were suspending. The industry was suspending. What they have now done, they maybe try to get something again from us. So it took time to get the right attitude. But after these pilot projects, when we went through with these, this really happened, and now everybody knows what's going on with our IPD projects. The selection process is very important. I will not concentrate it very deeply, but there are such a point we are evaluating in the selection process, and these are the understanding and commitment to the alliance or IPD, how they are working lean process, and then we have made some exams. So we will test before we choose we'll choose our partner. Are they really understand what's going on? And that means that the companies who are making tender, who are competing for the project, they also need to educate their own team before they are coming to the tendering process. And this margin or fee as a price element, it was only 25% in the process. And in an alliance project, it means that we are making first contract with the development phase when we together are setting the target cost for the project, and after that, when we are accepting that, we will going to the delivery phase and start the project. So we as an owner, we can stop the project, and I know one of the alliance project in Finland what has been interrupted because they didn't reach the target costs what was satisfied for everybody. So it can happen, and now they started with the traditional way. That's the city of Kuopio in the eastern part of Finland, which has this project, and I'm not sure if they have really everybody understood what alliance work means. Do the owners really understand it, or was the owners only sitting on the table and say that please give us the ideas and we will then make the decision that is it good or not, or are they really participating in the process? I'm not sure, but this has also happened once. Big room concept is very important because without that, that we are working together, the ideas are not so fruitable if you are sending it by email to each other. When you are sitting in the same table and somebody said that, now I have an idea, could we say it sit in the same table? Is it possible to go through with this? It seems that my time will be soon enough, and I have still so many slides. This group project means that we have developed, together with owners, we have had learning program, education program where we we are changing our experience, and we are expecting for this really big change. The cooperation with research institutes, you have heard a few words about that. The LCI Finn, I think you also know the system, what is here in LCI, German LCI. We have had several projects of many organizations.
Yeah.
These are the academic research we've done, 4 doctorate theses, master theses, lower academic theses, conference papers, presentations, now maybe more than 200. So we are really cooperating together with the academical. There was also, it's called Integration in Construction Rain project, where we were there financing it and then the private companies. And we just try to find how we can work together that everybody really understands. So the training is continuous all the time in Finland. And as I said, it might be that the education, the coaching people is so important that you will not need the best players, but you will need the best team. The world champion of ice hockey this year was team where was not any NHL players. The only land who won won this team was Germany. That's the reason I can show this to you. You can be proud. You were the only team who won the world champion. I'm not sure if I can show this picture in Sweden or Russia or in Canada, but here I can show it. And same time, I can show that we also had a project where we didn't have the best players, but we do have the best team. Our tunnel project was nominated as Project of the Year in Finland from the construction engineers. Then 2017, the International Project Manager Association Finland was nominated it in the Project of the Year in Finland, and last year it was awarded the Global Project of the Year. And it was the evaluation from the project. It took 1 week. There was a group of very experienced project managers all over the world who were asking things, how did you that? They were made many interviews with several parties. And that's good evidence that if we as an owner, we start the first step, we will develop the whole industry, we will start, take the first step, and we will participate the project with the total of our heart. We have the will to do that. Something like this can happen. And again, these were my key points, and with this picture, I will thank you that I could come to tell you, and as I said, we want to be really open, and it's really great honor to be here in the country who has developed Deutsche Industrienormen. You have made such a good things, but as I understood, you also have some problems with your construction. And if my experience can help you to develop your industry, I'm more than happy. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Pekka. And we will now have the opportunity to take some questions from the audience. Before we do that, may I just say, here is one question in the front, may I just say, it's so amazing for me to hear a delegation of 10 people from Finland come to a conference in Germany, which was organized in 2009 with the hope that the German market would adapt to international approaches. Those delegation drives back to the airport, and in that very moment, they decide to make a pilot project, and now we hear this Finnish journey. That's so amazing. It says a lot also about different cultures, I guess. So let's start here.
Mr. Pekka, it's difficult for me to spell your Finnish family name, sorry.
That's fine.
I have two questions. One is...
Would you introduce yourself, please?
Maximilian Grauvogel from Obermeier Consulting Company.
Thank you.
When you have been talking about putting together integrated project delivery teams, how did you deal, and you also mentioned that you try not to blame the one who makes mistake, but how did you deal with a very critical issue of liability, joint liability? How did you solve it? Do you solve this in your project? That's the first question. And the second question was this most economical advantageous tender process. Do you have a standardized procedure within Finland or within your organization on that?
Yeah, the first question is that we worked together with this liability, and we have it in our guidelines, which we have done. So it has been cleared up, and the responsible is so it's joint. The whole organization, they take the joint responsibility, and it's connected with the fee of the company which is participating. So the consulting company are not taking the same part from the risks as the construction. So when the construction company has fee as maybe 1 million and then construction company 15 million, it's comparing all they have also the risks. And now I also forgot the
second one was whether you have procedures, standardized procedures for the procurement process in your organization.
Yeah, that's what we have also. As I told, we have now, that was on the slides at the beginning, we have, again, that's the question, we have developed these guidelines now 3 years, and it's always very difficult because there are so many opinions that these words should be changed. But we have guidelines of which we have taken and tested, and with these guidelines we have written how the process will go on.
Are those guidelines in Finnish or in English?
At the moment they are Finnish, but after everybody will accept it, I think.
Okay, we will translate
it.
All right, I see a question here in the front. Yeah. Next one, yeah.
Dieter Grömling, Max-Planck-Gesellschaft. Sie haben mehrfach genannt, dass Sie unter dem Preis und in kürzerer Zeit fertig wurden. Meine Frage ist, wer hat wann auf welcher Basis diese erste Zahl genannt? Wie lange es dauert und was es kostet?
Mhm.
In this IBD project we are doing, we will have this development phase. I went through it very, very fast, but after we have chosen our partner, we have development phase with this normally 1 year, and we are developing the project. We are setting together key result area, we are setting together timetable, and we are setting together the target costs. And this is very open game. So every cost will be shown. This transparency is so that we are checking every cost and also the risks element. We will set what are the risks of the project, and we will set and then we are counting it, and we are using experts also for owner side who are checking that timetable is right, and the costs they are on the right level. So that's part of the process. And
but you have a budget at the very beginning, I guess?
We had a budget, and we try to reach, of course, the budget. And in the tunnel project, it was so that the first cost estimation, that was 220 million. And we said that, no way, now we have to find very many innovations. And we really had such kind of innovations that I would say that without this IPD model, they would have not been possible. Okay. Because every part, even city of Tampere, they say that, okay, if you are doing that and the cost they are going further, you can use this kind of our systems. But in a traditional way, they could say that, no, you have offered fixed price, so you need to find solutions. We will not help you.
Mm-hmm.
Heinz Ehrbar, DB Netz AG. I have a question on this very often mentioned decision on the European level of 2013. Was this really a decision, a political decision by the European Commission, or was it a decision of the Court of Justice, which would be a more stable foundation, I believe?
Yeah, it was the decision from the European Commission, and they say that it's not forbidden to use alliance model. That was not a court, but it has been in all court level in Finland before that, and it has been in a parliament before that. He had such a principle that he is so tough against the project that he will claim every possible level.
He was not a Japanese, obviously, what we heard from Stefan Leupertz. There's a question there, yes? I think the last question probably, yes.
Christine Morusach, Hamburg Port Authority. Eine Frage, wie haben Sie die Betriebsanforderungen während der Projektphase berücksichtigt? War der Betreiber, der zukünftige, mit im Projektteam?
So the user or the operator, was he involved?
They are in. I have this volume also always too loud or too still. The requirements we have in Finland, the requirements which are common. Is it right? Well, yeah, the common requirements of which you have to set. But then it might be in the details that also the partner from the alliance in the development phase, they can say that, is it reasonable? And then we will discuss it, and it has happened that we can change our guidelines if there will come up to something that these guidelines, they are not right, or requirements, they are not on the right level. If you change something a little bit, it might be easier to build, and the result is still the same or even better than we were beginning thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the question was understood fully. So my understanding was, is the user or the operator of the building,
operator, yeah,
is he involved in the optimization process, in the IP
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from the infrastructure area, and of course we have people from the maintenance group. They are part of that. But in our house building area, where the most of our alliance projects now are, the doctors and nurses, they are participating in the process. When they are developing new hospital, they are part of the process, and they said that that's good to do so, and it's very important that they will participate in this development phase.